Good morning, students. Good morning. Welcome to our English class. Today we have a lot of fun activities that will be really helpful for us to learn. Okay, so let's get started our class. Let me share my screen. And there we have the first part of our class. Okay, so remember that I told you that the topic of today is making plans. That is the topic of today, making plans. So it means that we have to plan ahead. How can we talk about our plans? How can we plan ahead? Maybe is it important to plan ahead? What do you think about it? Do you consider that it's important to plan, or maybe you prefer that life surprises you? Okay, so let's get started with the first part that we have for today. We will watch a video. In this video, there is some people having a conversation. So you must be really careful watching this video, because we are going to talk about what was happening in here. We're going to have a little talk about after you watch the video. Okay, so let's play it.
What are you doing this weekend? Do you want to go shopping with me?
That sounds great. When do you want to go?
How about Saturday morning?
I'm making breakfast for some friends at 9. Then I'm doing laundry from 11 to noon.
Saturday afternoon.
I'm taking an art class from 1 to 3. How about 3:30?
No, I'm exercising with a friend from 3 to 4. Then I'm going to the movies at 5 with my sister.
Sunday morning?
I'm visiting my parents until 10. Then I'm meeting a friend at the art museum until 1. Sunday afternoon?
I'm going to a baseball game with Bob at 1. How about late afternoon?
Around 5?
Great.
Hey, do you want to play basketball tomorrow?
Okay.
Okay, and that was the video that I had to share with you. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this video. Let's go here. Okay, let's talk about this video. What was happening in this video? Remember that you can raise your hand, or maybe you can write it here in the chat, because I'm gonna be checking the chat. Okay, so what is happening in this video? Okay, Pamela says girls want to go shopping. Okay, the girls want to go shopping. Okay, yeah, that is the idea, that is the objective of the conversation that they are having over there. Okay, Ricardo says they cannot agree, so they cannot find a moment, a day, an hour to get together for going shopping. Okay, Francisco says they want to plan. Okay, they are trying to make a plan. They are making a plan indeed to go for going shopping. And Lucia says they are talking about the future. They are talking about the future. Yeah, they are talking about the possible future, because they are making the plans for the future. They are making some arrangement for the future. Okay, that is the idea. And what is the difficult part of this? Because there is something fun. There is a fun situation over there. What is the difficulty here? They have a lot of things to do. Yes, they have a lot of things to do. So that's why they are, each one of them, they are taking, what is the name for that? Cell phone. Yeah, that could be a cell phone, but what do you have there in your cell phone that you use to see the days that maybe you could do something or not? A calendar. They were checking the calendar. They were checking their agendas. Okay, they were checking their agendas to see if they have a space in the agenda, maybe if they have a free off, so they can get together and go shopping to the activity for the future. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. And there we go, the big question of today. That is the big question of today. Let's think about it. Why planning ahead is important for efficiency? Why planning ahead is important for efficiency? What do you think about is planning ahead? So it means that you set something to do in the future and you start planning about it. You start planning how you're gonna do it. You start planning with who you're gonna do something, maybe who you're going to ask for help to achieve something. So what do you think? It's important to plan ahead. And why is it important? Why planning ahead is important for efficiency? What do you think about it? Efficiency. Pay attention to this word. So it means that if you want to be good at something, if you want to be excellent at something, if you want to be successful at something, you must plan ahead. That is what is implicit here in this idea. And by the way, that is what we have at the first part, idea. When you have the idea of something, okay, you have the idea and then you say, oh, maybe I could do this, and bling, you got the idea. And then you have the to do. Maybe you could make kind of a list, could be a list of the steps that you should take, a step after step, step by step, to get what you want from the beginning when you had the idea. Then the doing, this is so important, because having a to-do list is not the most important part. It's important, yeah, but even more important than having a to-do list is doing, the doing part, the doing stage of your plan, because you have to do it. And finally, the best part of any plan, the best part of any arrangement, done. When you finally achieve it, when you finally got what you were planning from the beginning, since you got the idea at the first moment, okay? So, Carlos says, I live day by day. You live day by day, okay? But it is important, because in the age that you are, okay, in the course that you are right now, remember that you are really near to go to university. You're really near to start working. So it is important for you to be organized and to plan ahead. So yes, it is important to plan ahead. Let's go with the next part that we have there. Okay, we have another video that is going to be really important. So I would like you to pay attention for this video, and I would like you to participate a little bit more, because I haven't listened to you too much today, and I want to hear your voices participating, okay? So remember that you can raise your hand, and if you do not want to raise your hand, you can write in the chat, because I am going to be checking the chat. I am checking the chat the whole time. So feel free to write your participation. Feel free to write there your comments, your questions, okay? That is the important part of the class. You have to participate. So let's play the video. Let's see what happens here.
What are you planning to do this evening? This evening, I'm planning to go to dinner with friends and maybe some drinks.
I think I'll stay home and have my dinner.
So what are you going to do this weekend?
Aha, I want you to pay attention to the form that they use to provide the answers and to make the questions, okay? I need you to pay attention to the form. How does the interviewer ask the question, and how does the lady, in this case, on our screen, is going to provide the answer?
I am going to go to the park and maybe see a movie and hang out with my friends.
I'm going to an opera.
That's interesting. And will you be going with anyone?
With a colleague in the office and her husband.
Next month, do you have any big plans coming up?
I don't have major plans coming up next month. I usually go week by week.
Next Monday, I will probably be in the office working.
Okay, so this lady says that she will probably. So maybe it means that she's not sure about it, because she said probably, I will probably. So she's not sure about it. Okay, so it is just a possibility, but is not really sure about it. But pay attention that when she is sure about it, when she has the idea very clear that something is going to happen, and she knows how, she knows when, she knows with whom, she used another form. Pay attention to that form.
But after work, I'll probably go out and have something to eat and go to dinner and come home and watch TV.
Let's make it just one more time to be.
What are you planning to do this evening?
Okay, so what is the question in this case? What are you planning to do? What are you planning? What are you planning to do this evening?
This evening, I'm planning to go to dinner with friends and maybe.
This evening, I'm planning to go. I'm planning. So it means that he has already made some arrangements. He has already planned what he is going to do this evening.
Maybe some drinks.
I think I'll stay home and have my dinner.
So what are you going to do this weekend?
I am going to go to the park and maybe see a movie and hang out with my friends.
I'm going to an opera.
Okay, can you see the difference? The first answer of this person on the screen, he says something about that he probably would do, but he was not using the form of the ing. But in this case, he was using the form of the ing. So here is the important part of our class of today. The form that you use to make arrangements, to talk about future, to make plans. Remember that we talked before about the importance of planning ahead, about the importance of making plans for the future, not only the future that maybe you are going to, maybe you're going to go to a park with your friends, maybe you're watching a movie tonight, maybe you're traveling to the beach next week, maybe you're visiting some friends tomorrow. Okay, not only about the social part of the story, if not the professional part of the story. Okay, if not the professional part of the story. So it is important for you to know how to make plans, how to make arrangements. That's why I'm going to share my screen again with you. And we will go to the next part. Future plans. Remember, planning ahead, making plans. That is the topic of our class of today. Remember that the objective is to identify plans in a conversation. We have already working on that, and to talk about future arrangements. I know that you should have a lot of plans for future. I know that you should have a lot of plans for future. Maybe going with your friends, hanging out with your friends tomorrow, maybe going to movies next week, maybe having some dinner with a special friend, and maybe some other plans for the future. Okay, Carlos, please read it. What do we have there on the screen? Aha, we use the present continuous to talk about future plans. Present continuous to talk about future plans. You must say, but miss, if we are talking about future, why we are using the present continuous? Because that is the way we have to do it, because that is the way that we need to use to talk about future plans. As it is about a plan, you should use the present continuous. You have to use the present continuous, okay? This says the future plans, the kind you write in your diary, okay? Tomorrow I'm going to a concert. This afternoon I am calling my mom. Next weekend I am visiting my parents. Next month I am starting a new English course, etc. Remember, the present continuous, you already know the form of the present continuous, but anyway, I'm going to provide some examples here. Okay, examples. Pamela, please read the first of the examples. Similar to the question that we had in the video. What are you doing tomorrow evening? Pamela, what are you doing tomorrow evening? Studying. Okay, but the full answer. I am studying tomorrow evening. I am studying. I know that you are not studying right now because you're paying attention to the class. You are going to be studying this afternoon or maybe tomorrow evening as example. But you should use the present continuous to express the plan, that you have a plan, that you already have a plan. The next example, Lucia, please. Okay, I'm going to the theater. Are you going to the theater right now in this moment? Are you leaving the class? No, of course no, because you are here with us in the class. But it means when you say I'm going to the theater, it means that you have a plan already, okay? That you know that when you're going, maybe how you're going over there, who is going to be with you, etc., etc., etc. Okay? And then continue with the next part that we have here. Aha, here we have a weekly planner. That is the name that is over there. A weekly planner, or maybe could be also a kind of diary, or maybe also a kind of agenda. But in this case, it's a weekly plan. Let's make it bigger so all of us, we can see it. Monday, 10:30, Dr. Howells. Okay. Let's suppose that this is Ricardo's weekly planner. Okay, Ricardo, tell me, what are you doing on Monday? No will go because it is not a possibility. No will. Remember, we use will when we are talking about possibilities, and this is not a possibility. This is something that is already planned. So you are 100% that this is going to happen. So I am going to the doctor. I am visiting Dr. Howells. You even have the time. On Monday, I am visiting Dr. Howells at 10:30. Okay, remember that you have to provide the full answer. Okay, let's talk now about that. This is Carlos' weekly planner. Okay, Carlos, what are you doing on Tuesday afternoon? Excellent, I'm playing basketball. That's for Tuesday. Are you playing basketball right now? No, you are not, because you are attending class. You are paying attention to the class. You're working, you're learning English in this moment, right now. But you are using the present continuous to talk about future plans. I am playing basketball. You have even the time at 6 in the afternoon, okay? And then we continue. Okay, I'm gonna make it. There we go. Aha, time to plan. This is our time to plan. We even have a clock over there. Time to plan. This is what we are gonna do now, okay? Time to plan. I'm gonna share with you another option to write your plans, to write down your plan. This is an agenda. Very, very useful, by the way, okay? Now you should have an agenda. It's really important. You will appreciate it in the future having an agenda. So you have to get used to use an agenda from now in the high school, because in the university and in your next work, when you start working, you will have to use an agenda. It's really, really, really helpful. That way you will not miss anything. Okay, there we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to do on that day. Okay, this is the work, this is the task that we have here. I am giving you this agenda, so you have to think about 2 activities. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the agenda, but I am asking you just for 2 activities that you are going to do the next days. Okay, let's suppose that we are talking about the next Tuesday. Okay, next Tuesday, what are you going to do next Tuesday? But I am asking you for 2 activities. One activity could be for school. Maybe you have a homework, or maybe you have homework, maybe you have a meeting, maybe you have a project, okay? Maybe you have a lesson, or maybe you could talk about any activity at home that you have already planned. Maybe you have planned to help your mom, maybe to help your dad, maybe you have planned tidy your room, could be a good idea, could be a good plan. Your mother will say thank you. Okay, so plan 2 activities, only 2. Could be referred to school, could be referred to your homes, but you have to use the form of the present continuous. You have to use the form that we have been learning from the videos and that we have been practicing over here. Next Tuesday, I am having a meeting with my partners. Next Tuesday, I am having a presentation. I am having an oral presentation. Next Tuesday, I am helping my father to wash the car. Any plan, but I am asking just for 2 of them. Okay, once that you have your activities for the next week, okay, let us know about you. Okay, so Ricardo, please share with us about your plans for next Tuesday. What are you going to do next Tuesday? Okay. Remember that we could also talk about in negative too. For example, if I say, okay, Ricardo, are you helping your dad washing the dog? You could say, no, I am not. Okay, remember that. Okay, let's go with the next part that we have here. We have a contest. We have a contest over here. I will provide you the instructions for this contest, and I have a really nice prize for the people, for the person, because it's not going to be something groupal, for the person who wins the contest. Okay, these are the instructions. The name of the contest is Best Weekend Ever. Best Weekend Ever. Okay, so you have to think about plans for the next weekend, the plans that you already have. If you do not have a plan, you cannot figure out one right now. Okay, you have to talk about your real plans that you have for next weekend. That is part of the rules of the contest. Okay, so you will share with the group, you will share with the class what your plan is, and your partners are allowed to ask for details. They're allowed to ask for details. So if they want, they can ask you some details about your activity, about your plan. Okay, it could be any plan. For example, maybe going to a party, going to a movie, as we have here. What are you getting up to this weekend? Okay, what are you getting up this weekend? This is the question that we will ask you. What are you getting up to this weekend? What are you going to do this weekend? Remember that Best Weekend Ever will win. For example, maybe you are hanging out with your friends. Maybe you are going to the beach. Maybe you are starting a new job. Could be, maybe you have a new job. Maybe you are starting a new project. Maybe you are studying for the next lesson next week. Could be. Maybe you're going to the movies. Maybe you are going to the movies. Oh, maybe you are doing homework. Maybe you're doing homework, or maybe you are helping your mom, or maybe you are helping your dad at home with their jobs. Could be. Okay, so, or maybe you are having dinner with some friends. Could be. What are your plans for this weekend? Remember, for the next weekend, remember that best weekend ever will win a wonderful prize that I have, okay? Remember that you should stand up and share with your classmates. Okay, raise your hand in this case and share with your classmates, and they are allowed to ask you questions, ask you more information, ask you for detail of your activity, okay? So that's why you cannot figure it out right now, something just because you want to win. It must be real plans. Aha! Now we have a winner of our contest. We have a winner of our contest. In fact, all of us, we are winners. All of you are winners because now you are able to identify plans in a conversation, and now you're able to talk about future arrangements. So the next time that you want to do something in the future, or maybe somebody is asking you about the future, now you know the right way, the right form to talk about your arrangements, okay? So this is the last part of our class. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for sharing your plans with us. Thank you very much. See you in the next class. Thank you very much. Thank you a lot. See you in the next class.